What's up, Peter?
Hey, Art, how you going?
Howdy.
Yeah, this is on the recording session on the other one.
I was starting to think I was in the wrong time zone.
Hey, Zane, how you going? Happy Saturday, mate.
Happy Saturday. Art, how you going?
These earphones on. Hey,
Hey,
Art. Yeah,
Howdy.
good, mate.
I have
Alright.
to get used to these now that we're transmitting on that KGRA broadcast stream.
What's KGRA?
We got like syndicated on some online radio, the USTP virtual salon that we have weekly.
Yeah.
So now they're like syndicating us, broadcasting us to this online radio station. They've got like a lot of audience there.
That's awesome.
But the guy there wants us to wear headphones to kind of avoid that kind of like that empty hall sound, hallway sound. So
Very
I got to get
professional.
used to it. Yeah, a little bit more professional.
No Joe Rogan style, you got to do the 4-hour podcast with the
There you go.
the full set.
Actually, we're starting to do 2 hours max now, which is great. And sometimes we would do like 4 hours. It was terrible.
Oh, wow. Hey, Avinash.
Happy Thanksgiving, Art.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, thanks.
Thanksgiving was on 25, right?
Yeah, was that yesterday or today?
I think
Yesterday was Thanksgiving.
yesterday, yeah.
All right. I wish we had more holidays like that in Australia. Like we have, at least we can celebrate Chinese New Year. That's about what we get today.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Avinash, how you been, mate?
Good. Nice weather. Enjoying this weather.
Yeah, nice and cool.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah, look at that. Got a bit of a La Nina going on down under. Art.
So is it springtime for y'all?
Yeah, getting into summer.
Okay.
But it's 17 degrees today, so it doesn't feel like spring.
It's more of winter, right?
Right, it does.
Yeah. Charles messaged me. He always gets confused with the time zones, but he's joining shortly as well.
Okay.
I always get confused with this Australian Eastern Standard Time and Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Hey, Jono, how you going?
Hey, John.
Bloody daylight savings, man. I don't know. It's just confusing the cows, confusing the people. It confuses everyone. So why are we having it?
Everyone does it except us here in Arizona and I think some other state. I forget which it is. But we don't do it here in Arizona, and I like it.
Yeah.
It does get confusing when everyone else changes, and we have to also shift because we forget that everyone else changed.
Did you know Jonathan Woods? He was in a he's still in a venture on Livestock Labs. What are they called?
No, it's still called Livestock Labs. Yep.
Yeah, that's the new name. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cattle implant company.
Cool.
Internet of Things. Yeah.
Whereabouts is the farm?
Oh well, actually no. Well, okay. That trial is That trial is pretty much finished. Is in Nebraska.
Nice.
Nebraska, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, talk about
Solar
confusing
powered
the cows.
ear tags.
No. These ones are more of just implants and doing biometric monitoring.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys probably haven't met Jonathan. We go way back when I was working at Deloitte. And Jonathan was working in risk consulting and organized a lot of the fintech events back in the days. And he did that startup with the biotech, big biohacker. and he's running the DeFi accelerator at the moment by the beach where you live right now. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, always involved in lots of things. Not unlike you, Peter.
That was just we need the stimulation. We need the constant.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
But Jono got into the Bitcoin bandwagon back in 2012. Like that was the first time I heard the story that you took us through the other day, Jono.
Yeah, 2012. Yeah. Good. Well, wild ride, you know.
Yeah, no, I just remember we had our Ethereum meetups back in 2016 before the DAO hack. And we had like a whole bunch of like just events at Deloitte. It was the golden days, 2015 they were all setting their 2020 strategies, and then 2020 hit. It's like, hang on a second, what do we do? No one's making their strategies realized in 2020. Let's make it 2025.
That's right. That's it.
Yeah, no, 2025 is definitely when we're going to make it, because they say they underestimate the 10 years, right?
Yeah. I think it's been extended 10 years. That's right.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining, guys. I think we're just going to wait for Charles, but I'll pop the Google Docs agenda into the chat.
So Charles will be joining. Anyone else?
I think it's really early in South Africa at the moment.
Yeah, it is.
It is. So we might have a dev meeting like later this afternoon for that 9 p.m. in Australia. If you guys are interested in joining that. Yes, some great progress. It just feels like every single month has been a marathon.
Yeah, it is. You guys doing a crazy thing. I mean, especially you, Peter, and Charles are doing a lot of things, which is amazing, right?
Charles and Jenny, man, they're like machines. They're just powering on.
Are you sure she is not AI? I still haven't met her.
She's probably artificial general intelligence. She's artificial general intelligence. The J2000.
I haven't met her, so I'm assuming she is something else.
Yeah. She needs to stay. Yeah, she needs to stay pseudonymous because she works with government, and if we dox her, she'll get in trouble.
This project come from governments, I can know.
Yeah, exactly. Could be CIA. You never know. This could be the part of the greater plan to get Transhuman Coin adopted. It's like Bitcoin, right? Have you guys seen the Bitcoin conspiracy?
No, what's the Bitcoin conspiracy?
So the fact that they needed a backup plan after GFC, knowing that fiat is not going to be able to hold for any longer if they keep burrowing like this. And because it's no longer backed by the gold standard, they're like, all right, well, what's an alternative we can bring into the system as a backup plan? And if this conspiracy theory keeps going, and the economy continues to start to feel some inflation headwinds, and then the money starts being pumped more just to pay the interest, you might see the flippening between what the Fed does and then with what the Reserve gets on the Bitcoin side. So it could be like a adoption of Bitcoin at the federal level as a backup plan. I don't know. That's a conspiracy theory. Maybe end of next year, they're saying. Maybe.
Oh wow! How does the pandemic play into that?
The pandemic? No, more
pandemic.
Oh, it's terrible. But I was chatting to Benji Rossman and Mick Mann from Singularity South Africa yesterday, and Charles joined for a second. And those guys, I just realized it's getting pretty serious with this new strain. This Omicron.
And who named it that? Such an odd
it's the worst name, especially for the pandemics out there, right? Omnicon? What's like what?
I thought it was a Transformer name.
Yeah.
Omniprime, maybe. Who come with this name? I mean, I think it's a WHO, I guess.
And they just have to make it something so like ominous.
Yeah.
But sorry, let me bring up the screen here.
And then, like Australia is opening up, and then you heard this news again, and I'm just sad.
I know.
Yeah.
I had always planned for this to be permanent, like a 9/11 event. So I was never hoping that things would return to normal. So I don't have a problem.
Yeah, it was never normal. We just made it known that it wasn't. Yeah, all right. Let me just go through some of the agenda items. Thanks, Avinash, for putting this together. I think we have broadly a lot of just things around donations. Donations just to get approval. Other things like guest advisors we might bring on. Dr. Jordi, Mialudo, Lisa Shahab, which is Jonathan's vouching for from Deloitte. I don't think I came across Deloitte, Lisa, when she was at Deloitte. Awesome.
Didn't you guys work together a little bit on that API for SMSF?
No, that wasn't me. Yeah, that would have been a good one to work on.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, that's with the IP factory.
Yeah.
Ideas go to die.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was known for. Good old entrepreneurship. And we heard from Sharon Liu in our last dev meeting. Box G1 is another potential donation. Singularity U faculty. So yeah, these are the Singularity South Africa guys that we talked to. They're organizing a metaverse summit in March, and that should be really good to get Dr. Charles to speak at, and also us to attend virtually. That should be really cool. And then the Singularity Australia guys as well. And we got also that thing we talked about with Tim Maupin and Kid Camino and the film, The Last Generation to Die. We also just a donation, other things we could help promote that. They're going to put Transhuman Coin in the credits, as well as the sort of, promotional material they have for the film. We're going to the big screen. Got the avatar thing from Art. We got YouTube ads for USTP. That's cool. Discussion on creating open expressions of interest. Yeah, that's the evaluation framework. So yeah, thanks, Avinash. Put this together. And then any other matters. Cool. There's Dr. Charles. Hi, Jabu. Hey, Charles.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Sorry to make it so early for you guys.
Good. Thank you. And you guys?
Good.
2.5 within the day, at least in Australia. How about Art? You're like early morning?
No. Here it's 9 p.m. for me.
Oh,
so
okay.
If y'all wanted to do it a little later, I could easily go to like 10 or 11 p.m. for me.
So we have
fine.
at
least I can speak for myself. I don't know about what's your name.
Yeah. I mean, Charles is an early starter, but yeah, hopefully this isn't too early, Jabu.
That's fine. I'm good.
Oh, you got a bit of static there, Dr. Charles. Yeah, your audio.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a static.
Sorry?
Static in your audio.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just trying to fix my earphone.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was great to see your photos the other day, Jabu and Charles. You guys, it's so good to have like people that are neighbors. It's like me and Avinash that are around the corner.
Dr. Charles and I live 5 kilometers away from each other.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
We just discovered a couple of other Joburg Singularity transhumanist people from Singularity South Africa. And their names are Benji and Mick. The Benji is a professor in artificial intelligence and robotics at the University of Witwatersrand. Is that how you say it? Witwatersrand? Or is it Witwatersrand? What's that university called? I think it's University of Witwatersrand. The Wit University, I think they short it for. It's short for the Wit University. And then Mick is head of a production company. And he's also run Singularity South Africa. Yeah. I'll just put in those descriptions. And his production company is called Man Made because it's Mick Man. He does like really good high quality production stuff. So I think it'll be really good for Transhuman Coin if we ever wanted to do anything like that, like large events, summits, high production, streaming on, by YouTube, but also on TV. Art, you just mentioned that you guys are affiliates of a radio.
We started syndicating through KGRA, and they're a big online radio provider, and they have a large audience. So now the USTP broadcast goes through them, and it simultaneously goes to their broadcast stream at their site and as well as YouTube. So we've increased our audience, and they do have advertising, but I think it's only audio advertising. So I'm not sure if that'd be effective for us.
Yeah. Yes.
So Peter, I mean, I'm just wondering. I'm just some more of a question. So these people going to promote THC, or are we just going to list them on the website? What we expecting from them?
These guest advisors?
Yeah, not guest advisor. Those we are airdropping.
Airdropping. Yeah. So they'll be promoting. Mick Mann will be promoting us via Singularity South Africa and Man-Made. Benji Rossman at Wheat University will be promoting it through his robotics lab. So he has a AI and robotics professor.
Oh, he's a professor. Wow.
Yeah. Just follow the link for his LinkedIn. You can check out there.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, they're really cool. So I've been working with them for the past couple of years with Singularity U. So this is like the handful of people from Singularity U faculty we talked about in the chat around the airdrops. But yeah, it would be good just to get some ideas around what they could do for us to help promote it. But I think this is a great starting point to get Singularity Group to adopt Transhuman Coin as part of their entire network. Singularity U Group, should link that as well. .org. So they're run by Peter D. Manis and Ray Kurzweil founded this a long time ago. It was like 11 years ago or something now. It'd be great to get the entire group adopting it, because they have country partners all around the world. There's about 12 different country partnerships, like a franchise model. And each of those country partnerships has about like 5 or 6 different chapters in each city in the country. Yeah, that'd be a really good one.
That sounds amazing.
And I think those people are listed here are also part of the transhumanist leaders and organizations in the influencer list we talked about. Did you want to go through this one, Abhinash? You said you put it in here.
Okay.
I'm not sure who else. Waiting for this to load. Yeah, so this is the list. So we've got a lot of people on board already. So I've just put 0 in terms of the ones that we've already reached out to. And the priority, these are the other ones with a 1, so that we haven't reached out to yet in yellow. And then there's the second level priorities. Like, it's unlikely that we'll get to them directly, but I think we can get to this first order of people that we can onboard with Transhuman Coin in order to reach the people in level 2.
Yeah.
People like we talked about with Natasha Vidamore and her husband Max Moore. I think we need to get him on board on the advisory board potentially. David Pierce, Ben Gertzel, Tim Cannon. Is Tim, Jono, okay to join as well?
Maybe. I mean, feel free to ask him. I'm not sure. I haven't spoken with Tim in a long time, so I'm not sure what he's doing. I'm not sure if he's working in transhumanism type things or not.
So we can put him down in a second. We don't really think we can. But yeah, this is just the list so that you guys have an idea of who we're looking to target next. The ones that have 0, we've already reached out to, like Dr. Geordie and all the Singularity people. The sort of.
Have you reached out to Alex?
Yeah, we did. I reached out to him directly on Facebook, but at least he has an idea of what we do. But he hasn't got back to us yet because I think it's Chinese connection. within silica medicine prevents him from doing anything really crypto.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah, he's located in Hong Kong. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He's funded by Kai-Fu Lee as part of Cedo Ventures.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe he want to avoid it here.
Yeah.
That's also one question, maybe at the end of the meeting. There's a lots of things happening in these big countries like India and China about cryptocurrency, right? I mean, also in India recently. Just wondering how what's our strategy towards those kind of bans?
Yeah.
I mean,
nothing we could do at the government level for now.
Of course not.
Charles is is probably going to create a transhumanist party in South Africa, right?
Well, could we put a tutorial for Pakistani people, and if Indians choose to copy it, that's on them.
Pretty much.
I mean, they're pretty much neighbors. They have a lot in common.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, same with Hong Kong. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good, just to create some sort of simple workarounds that not directly saying it's targeting them.
Target neighbors.
I like the idea.
But my question is more of like, if you see, let's say 5 to 10 years down the road, and if this government really pushing very hard, it may create a bit of problem for cryptocurrency, those non-government owned cryptocurrency. And I'm just curious, I mean, what are the potential solutions around that? It's very, very big thing to talk, of course.
Yeah.
But how to solve such challenges, of course. It could be one way that, okay, we also, swap government currency. I'm not sure that digital yuan, for example, Chinese digital currency, can you swap it with any other?
Okay, which one?
No.
Which one?
The Chinese digital cryptocurrency, from government. Can you swap it with any other cryptocurrency?
Not at the moment. So they're setting up a digital asset exchange in Shanghai, but that's more like fiat to fiat. So like, electronic money to digital yuan.
Yeah.
Or cash to digital yuan. But that's, I don't think it's interoperable with other cryptos. However, the US version will likely be interoperable.
Okay.
Well, what if they made it one-way interoperable? Like you can put your cryptocurrencies into the yuan, just one way only, in order to encourage their citizens to get away from cryptocurrency. So that something they might do something like that.
The KYC that they're going to implement for you to change your cryptocurrency into digital yuan is going to be off the charts. Like if even if it's just gone one way, so if you got like 100 BTC and you put that into digital yuan, they're going to welcome it, but they're going to do it in jail for you. So so they're gonna make sure that that KYC process is going to be such a huge pain. So I think that the idea of that of the digital yuan being interchangeable with anything else except for use within China, I think that's a long way away. But I think the US one definitely has a lot of merit, because I reckon you guys will be a lot more open to opening up the economy to other things. So I think that's probably the better bet.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's interesting.
The whole point is to know the traceability of it, and if they don't know where it came from to begin with, there's no point. So like minting it fresh is probably the best way. That's why they're airdropping it as lotteries, actually.
Okay.
CDC is making a big play for it. I mean, Art, CDC this past week and a half, Pete, like has been on like a massive publicity blitz. They've so crypto.com has just gone gangbusters in the past like week and a half. With their ads, buying out the Staples Center. I mean,
they have the MMA, man.
Yeah, they got the MMA. They got the. They've now. It's called the. It's not the Staples no more. It's the crypto.com center.
So FTX arena. Yeah,
they've gone massive. But they've definitely had some government support. Otherwise, how they doing that?
Yeah, I created some NFTs on their new marketplace.
Nice.
So I'm the only one that seems to come up in the transhuman keyword search right now.
So, you're the poster child for us. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're making waves, mate. Like, you're first to find everything. Yeah, I think we'd be good to put some strategy around that, around policy shaping, but also, like for the medium long term.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, more and more country getting on board of this, bringing digital currency with the centralized control, which is
I think India is going to go the same way. Yeah,
just in next month it's gonna happen. So, and they
in
are
India.
launching their own currency soon.
Yeah, there you go. We talked about this the other day, huh?
Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, it's happening very fast. I would say it's more copying from the China, but China is following the strategy.
I think China's will interoperate with other CDBCs.
Okay. So, I mean, if you talk about those two big countries, and then there's lots of politicians calling for, more centralized policy on this as well. It's happening. For example, Australia is thinking about RBA. It's RBA, Royal Bank of Australia. They're also putting some policy in place for this, maybe banning, I don't know. So what I'm trying to say is happening really fast, spreading like all around the world, and that kind of threaten as well decentralization, the whole idea.
Yeah.
So it's just it's good to keep in mind and think about it, how to get around that.
Nigeria will be interesting. So I don't know which way it's going to go. Is it going to go like China or is it more like US? What do you reckon, Charles?
With Nigeria, I think it's just going the China way. Yeah, and there's a lot of government control, and currently, I think they're actually victimizing users of crypto in Nigeria. Like arresting them and harassing them, and the thing is with Nigeria, it gets extreme. It's a very extreme country. It's a country of extremists in the extremes. If it's positive, it's really good. Positive. If it's negative, it's really bad.
Hey, Dr. Charles, did I read somewhere that one of the African countries does have a digital currency of their own?
Yeah, Nigeria.
It is Nigeria.
Yeah,
and they are using that at the moment. So they're using that, and they're using that as a way to buy and do stuff. Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah. And it's just to rival the cryptocurrency revolution happening in Nigeria, and seize control of that industry, of that market.
Yeah, I think there were like 200,000 users 2 weeks ago. So I'm not sure if that's gone exponential or you think that's more widely adopted now?
I haven't checked the stats.
Yeah,
and in addition to Nigeria, I think there are a couple of other African countries like Zimbabwe and few other. They use yuan as a official currency, and that also needs to follow the Chinese way. I mean their currency is a yuan, if I'm not wrong, adopted a few years ago.
That's insane. Yeah. But Belt and Road Initiative does, eh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's interesting how this currency setup is going.
Yeah. Zimbabwe.
For South Africa, I think it would be it's easier now that we have this other Swift swap.
Yeah.
It should be easier for South Africans because I think we are also limited in terms of for our currency in terms of what crypto we can what exchanges we can get into to start with. But once we do have a couple of exchanges in South Africa that we can get Bitcoin and some other basic coins, and then you can just send that to your wallet, so it would be easier.
Yeah, they just got to get onto DeFi. So we've just got to find a way to on-ramp them now before they start cracking down. Because once you're in DeFi, I think you're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's get more on the DeFi train.
Yeah, maybe.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So other things. So I met with Dr. Jordi. So he's the guy behind Psykinetic, and he's personally, I think, invested into Transhuman Coin already. He's just having a chat with his marketing team around how that would work with the donation what sort of things he could help push Transhuman Coin for globally. He's gonna have a new book coming out. I said like the e-commerce store is almost ready as well, Charles. So I'll be able to put that on as well. Get him to buy, listed there. But yeah, he's already got a book out. His second book is coming. That is a bit of a broadcast TV presenter, but also like a doer. He's an actual maker. When I visited him the other day, he was like designing a CAD for a 3D printer that he was doing for an autonomous wheelchair. So with being able to control it with your eyes, as well as he's got a brain-computer interface as well. So I think he's working with the likes of like Avanash's technology eventually, I think.
Oh no, he actually UTS alumni. I mean, my university's alumni. So yeah.
His dad was the professor.
His father is his dad is quite famous in this field as well. So no, I think he got some big famous sci-fi program in ABC or somewhere.
Yeah,
still there. TV show
to the future. Yeah, it's still there. He's making another one.
Oh, cool!
Because he learned from there was like a whole bunch of people like National Geographic that he did a documentary for. So he learned a lot of the film and production skill sets there. Cool. He's going to be able to use that for his new show. But there's going to be a lot of things coming out of Psykinetic that will be announced shortly because they're getting funding and things like that. So it'll be a really good time to get that donation through once they approve that on their end, on the marketing side. So they can also promote Transhuman Coin with that broader launch.
Okay. Is he still connected with the remarkable Innovation Hub?
I think that's where he started out with Clarence as well, Clarence Tan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. That sounds very good.
So that's with him. Meow. Yeah, he works in Moth. A lot of people know Meow in Australia. He's the guy that put an Opal card, the chip in his hand to use on the train.
And got fined.
Yeah, they said he didn't have a valid ticket.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you mean? I paid it right here. It's in my hand. But he's like, no, you did something different to your pass. But these guys, they initially started as a rapid testing company, so diagnostic. And then they're pivoting on to other things like animal testing, salmon, for things like fisheries to detect any diseases before they start spreading. And it's going to be more relevant now with that South African strain again as well.
And also, he's also, if I'm not wrong, he was also playing around, experimenting with genomics. We're talking on other day about the potential project. Also, he was working on sequencing devices. Also, he's working on some kind of cure for coronavirus, COVID.
Yeah,
that's also doing some of the work in that direction. So, the open lab concept is actually also interesting to explore here. So his lab is actually open lab. Am I right, Peter?
Yeah, it's a citizen lab. Yeah.
So that means anyone, have basic skill or even can go and learn there and do experiment there in the lab environment he provides. I'm not sure it's a funded lab or how does it work? How the economy work in the lab, but I think he got lots of donated equipment, for example. He also has some support from his other companies like a Moth Diagnostic, just mentioned by Peter.
Yeah,
maybe that's how it works.
Yeah, he moved out of Cicada Innovations.
Oh, he moved out. Okay.
Yeah, moved out a few months ago to set up a new lab in Roselle, just across the bridge from the city.
Yeah.
And so he's got a new lab. It's quite spacious actually. Lots of things to include in there.
Cool.
And it's fully like private now, so you can actually run that commercial side of things.
So as a guest advisor, he is I think best expertise on board at this moment with the hand on wet lab straight away and also access of the facilities.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, the donation he said will help with the balance sheet, so it attracts talent. So one of the people he's looking to hire just had a look at the balance sheet, and he's got runway until April next year. So if you hold some transhuman coin on the balance sheet, it'll look like you'll at least get them to another few months. So that sort of runway. Because like Charles is saying in the chat earlier, you can actually borrow potentially against crypto.
That's
a great solution. Yeah.
That is also another potential way to save in coming years when all the ban is happening around the world.
Yeah. Right.
Avinash, are there other professors at UTS that are doing longevity research?
This is something on neurodegenerative diseases, sort of, aligned with a bit of longevity research, but not really, not too much. UTS is more technology focused, to be honest. So we do not really have too much very basic science focused research. So not really.
Not really. Okay.
Yeah. If you see we are more engineer kind of university, more technology developing around that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the other one is Fox G1 Australia. So
sorry, Pete. Sorry, one thing. When you guys just above on Ludo, you've got an innovation pattern on telomere shortening with mRNA.
Yeah.
Is this is the Israeli tech? Is that right? The about the mRNA, the telomere stuff. Is he bringing that over here to Australia, or is he doing his own thing?
He's doing his own thing. So you got the innovation pattern in Australia to do, I guess, it's similar to what Liz Parrish is doing around the telomere shortening, but instead of gene therapy, it's mRNA, so that you can actually just need booster shots every 6 months. The gene therapy that Liz Parrish has, potentially you can't stop it. So if it becomes cancerous, it's really dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's patient 0 there. But yeah, this will be a sort of some risk mitigation on that approach. Cool. It'll be cool if you can pull it off. So the Israeli tech you're talking about is also telomere shortening there?
Yes. Are we talking about the same thing? Because I was reading a little while back about some tech coming out of Israel that's a telomere short. That's also something to do with telomeres.
With mRNA, huh?
Yeah, and they're like, I don't know. It's like I read it was like something about it. They put you in like a chamber. It's like some special kind of chamber, and then they show you the effects of it on your telomeres pre and post. And it's meant to be like, I don't know, it's meant to be pretty effective, and a lot of people have tried to buy their way into the process, but they're not taking people on. So I read about that. I just figure that people in this group probably hear about it because you guys are all pretty on the pulse of these kind of things.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard of that one yet.
Okay, let me try to find it, and I'll send it to the chat.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Cool, thank you.
Thanks, Sam. Yeah, that's really cool. And then Fox G1, so that's Vivek's been doing this since, I think, Jonathan, we were at this meetups at Deloitte back in 2014 or something. So Fox G1 is the syndrome where essentially impairment on the structural brain anomalies, abnormalities. And his son Kush has got that. So he's been trying to help find a cure. Sort of made it his life mission since that was diagnosed, I think back in 2014. But he's built out a really awesome board and also brought on a lot of scientists. He's actually, Avinash, he's open to helping us set up a charity for Transhumanism Australia.
You mentioned that.
The ACNC, yeah.
It is great if we can become more official.
Yeah, so we can actually get tax deductions for the donations, and also I think fringe benefits for the doctors we work with, because apparently you can pay them 15,500 nominal, so that could be in Transhuman Coin, and they get a deduction, like a tax-free, fringe benefits to that value. So they could actually deduct a lot of things that using that nominal Transhuman Coin donation if we needed to work with scientists and doctors in Australia.
Peter, somebody asked me this question recently. They said because 2% of every transaction goes into the research fund, they asked me the question if it was a tax deductible 2% for, fee for the transaction?
No.
No. Okay.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately. Yeah, because the wallet is held in like legally held by the Delaware LLC, isn't it, Charles?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if it's the Delaware LLC, it's not a charity, legal charity.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. But what we could do, you know, that donation we made to lifespan.io through the wallet, since that's still held by Delaware LLC could get a tax deduction for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sure, Charles. Yeah, if you guys already sort of put that into the finances, but yeah, that's a tax deductible thing. I think you should be able to get a receipt for that as well.
Yeah.
It's probably just the hash on the transactions, you know. That's your receipt, the transaction hash. But yeah, they'll probably just need to give you their company information.
Yeah.
And that's same if we wanted to organize future donations as well, like through the Delaware LLC, you could just do it to a foundation within the jurisdiction. So it'd be good to route it through Transhumanism Australia. So if you route it to Transhumanism Australia and we make the payment, and then how does that work? People that donate to Transhumanism Australia, we could make the purchase of Transhuman Coin. The people that donate to Transhuman Australia could get a tax deduction. And then Transhuman Coin would buy the Transhumanism Australia would buy the Transhuman Coins and then make the donation that way.
Yeah. That's smart, Peter.
You'll just, I mean, dominant purpose is to get the donation going, right?
That's right. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. So yeah, Fox G1. Yeah, that's actually a tax charity. So if we make a donation through maybe Transhuman Australia, that would work. But yeah, so those are the sort of main donation ones, and this is the airdrop for Singularity U. And then there's the film one, the Last Generation Die. So all of these donations, I think, what's the donation wallet up to now? It's like, I think it's grown since we last made the donation. It started with 500 million. We donated 10 million to lifespan.io, and then where is it? And then there was a lot of volume since the coin market cap listing, and now it's at like I think 510, isn't it? Something like that. Oh no, this doesn't get updated, does it? From the
you have to click it.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, 503. It's at 503, so it's already above what it was before, after the donation, the initial donation. It's the benefit of the fund. So up to you guys. What do you think, Avinash, around the donation amounts to each of these?
Well, it sounds good to me. I have no. I mean, we can go the way we were doing before, I think. As long as they are happy to promote.
Yeah. Like the airdrops are only $50 each. USD, but
I think the $50 the equivalent THC become half, isn't it, compared to last time?
Yeah, that's right.
Given the values, it's going good.
Yeah. And with these, like, we're still waiting for these two to confirm, but maybe Fox G1 is the first one we'll look at.
Yeah, Fox G1 is actually incredible. I mean, it's a very good cause. Nice. I should not say that, but it's good for publicity as well.
Yeah. So we did the 2,000 like we did with Lifespan, $2,000 worth, like we did with Lifespan.
Yeah, so that's like a good idea. Yeah.
So we'll just go with. We'll probably denominate into Transhuman Coin once everyone starts adopting Transhuman Coin as the official currency. We don't have to do this translation back to USD.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. And then the film, will it be similar? Same thing? should we make it less, like 1,000? Yes. This will get us the logo on the film, as well as in the end credits with all the scientific advisory board members and the management team. So it's just, when they're rolling the credits, it'll just be like, thank you to all the transhumanist team members with the logo. And it's a film about, literally like longevity. Have you've already seen the one that he did on kids and longevity? Talking about how long they want to live, how long they think that humans should live for.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So yeah, up to you guys. We'll just put in the Telegram chat around these two amounts. We'll just do a vote at the end. And then so Lisa Shahab, so she's a director in the risk insurance, right?
She's working for IOOF right now. She'd probably be better for like a business type advisor if there was a business committee. I'm not sure if they're. Okay, sorry. It's IOOF.
Oh, that IWF. Gotcha.
Yeah. Sorry, my accent. Yeah.
I didn't realize. I didn't realize she moved on.
Yeah. So she's incredibly good with business, and she works with a lot of board of directors, things like that, and so she's expressed interest. She hasn't invested yet, so I'm trying to encourage her to do some investing, but she's expressed interest in advising for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. She reached out on LinkedIn, and it looks like she was just almost there on the buying side.
Yes. She works in risk, so she's actually one of the very risk adverse.
Oh yeah, she wanted to use the OTC, the direct sales.
Yes.
That's cool.
This reminds me of Nikesh as well. The last week we chatting Peter.
Nikesh. Yeah.
And given his banking experience, do you think he's a good value as an advisor?
Yeah, of course.
He got quite of Nikesh, Lal, LAL.
Yeah. And he was great. It's great to have a chat with him. He was formerly executive at Commonwealth Bank of Australia.
Yeah.
Wow.
He did all those digital payment system in CBA. I mean, he's a lead behind it. So we should have him as a consultant, advisor, or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why don't we group all of this under sort of a business committee, like you say, Jonathan?
Yeah.
That'll include Sharon as well. I thought she was great. Kesh, even Meow, because all the people that are I guess they need to stay independent. So if people want to get donations, they wouldn't be part of the team, right? Any sort of committee or advisory board. So you can just call these Meow as guest advisor / community leader or something like that. So when we put it on the website, Dr. Charles, when we have the updated website, you already got some awesome plans for the swaps, swapping directly on the website with the Swift blockchain. We make that update. We can put their faces up here, so it's really makes it look legit. On there. Same with Dr. Geordie, community leader, guest advisor, community leader, something like that.
So Peter, are we looking for more labs or more research that's into longevity that we should be bringing up? Because it seems like we're getting quite a pool of money. So
definitely. And then we can use this evaluation framework that Avinash has put together.
Yeah, it still is a working document, but I just put some very basic ideas. Of course, key areas is very random, but if you go down, especially evaluation criteria and how proposals would look like. So the idea of this document is we want to invite maybe more open application from transhumanists, maybe researcher, doesn't matter who, regardless of degree, that they can propose certain ideas and THC can fund them for a small project, let's say a 3-month to a 12-month to a 2 years project. I mean, depend on funding and the proposal we get from them. And these are very standard criteria actually we use. I mean, because I apply a lot of funding grants in Australian government funding or here and there. So these are very key criteria when you evaluate those proposals, how you judge they are good or not. Of course, you can propose quite a thing, right? Like having a base in the moon or this and that, right? But given the feasibility, but we need to be a bit flexible more here, given we are talking about transhumanist kind of proposals, so a bit more, futuristic. So maybe feasibility is a bit low compared to any other project, which is just to be clear in direction. But impact, feasibility, if you look at the transhumanist factor or THC factor, investment, how much it can be, So we can even call, weighting, that's what I was going to say. So we can also mention how much percentage we want this and that component, 40%, 30%, things like that. So this is a sort of framework I'm looking for. I'm trying to evolve, but of course, feel free to edit, update, and do anything. This is more from research world I am in, from that point of view. But we also need to make it a bit more flexible, given that we are targeting those people who are maybe not essentially a researcher or academic, right? So maybe for them, it's not that easy to able to answer this thing quite openly, quite easily.
Right.
And so how proposal look like? It's very simple structure. What we need them to write 2 things majorly. Overview, which is a small summary with what exactly they are looking for to achieve, how they want to achieve, and of course, what are their capability or their experience and their background or their resources they got, which indirectly or directly support their idea they want to achieve. More of capability, I call it. So these 3, phase 1, phase 2, we can call it, of course. We start with pilot project, which give us a better idea if they is still achievable. Maybe 3 months is too short to achieve anything, actually. That's also possible. So, but we need to start with 3 months, given the risk factor. When you talk about research, there's a big risk always that a big chunk of the research is actually failed. A few of them translate to something.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, so this is quite a standard sort of program or a proposal format. And I think the way that they could so for example, practically they get a $10 million transhuman coin donation, for example.
Yeah.
And Charles, they use some sort of leverage the credit solution.
Yeah.
And they can, borrow, say, USDT or USDC from using Transhuman Coin, and they convert that to fiat to actually spend it on their projects. And they can liquidate some remaining Transhuman Coin to pay interest on that. Just so that way it's actually a much smaller fraction of the funding of Transhuman Coin, because it's just paying the interest component.
Yeah.
Of this 12 months.
Yeah.
Would that be something? Yeah. Charles, is that something that you reckon the credit guys will allow?
Yeah. We that should definitely work.
Yeah.
And really cool. Will we be sorry, let me open my. Will we be looking at funding the whole projects as in a continuous type of funding, or is it once off, or how would we work around the actual timing? Will it be like once we approve, we take over the project as in for continuous purposes, or will we calculate how much, or will they actually give us the amount that they need, or do we decide?
So we can fix some amount actually initially for, let's say, 3 months, and how it can be worked. I mean, okay, so it should be a continuous project, otherwise the value of project will go down. But a pilot project, which is like a 3-month project, for instance, give a very clear idea that we want to make it continuous or not. And in addition to THC, what we can do, we can look at the network we have. For example, the Meows Lab, for instance, to provide us some kind of support to. So it's not just THC going to fund in that case after 3 months. We ask that applicant to also look for additional support from similar investment. So we don't want to bound it because maybe we are not able to fund everything, right? So we want them to bring together maybe some other funding as well. And then once they have some additional funding, we can again fund them a bit more and some further funding to keep continuous going on. So that's a bit of complex network, complex model, but that's how it's supposed to work because alone single funding can't work. And that's all funding mechanism in government organization, for instance. We talk about Australia. So what they're looking for always that, okay, we are going to give you this much money so you can get started. But once you get started, we also hope that you can also seek more money from elsewhere so that the things can keep going on. And once you start seeking more money from elsewhere, we can fund you further, maybe matching amount or maybe a part of amount again. So that things will keep going on, something like that. But we can also think about here more of a return on investment, like Art mentioned when we talked about the genomics project. So maybe they come up with a final application and we can have some, I don't know how it's going to work, it's a bit complicated, but somehow we can also look at the return on investment. Maybe it's a promotion only, a THC based transaction or something like that. But not necessarily a project which is a very research focus can convert into the project. Commercial aspects are not always very high. But that could be another criteria actually, Peter. And so how much a potential of commercialization of a project, which is in a way a part of investment. Number 5th, how much potential is the project hold for commercialization in given couple of years or 3 years. So we can look at the TRL level. TRL is called technology readiness level. TRL1 means just a concept. TRL 5 and 6 means the concept is already a product. So we can look at their TRL level, how they grow over the time, at least what they propose. For example, pilot project already give them increase the TRL 1 to TRL 4. And when pilot project succeed, they can move from TRL 4 to TRL 7, which means there's a product already able to, start showing up in the market or something like that. So these are very academic words. It's a TRL. NASA TRL. Yeah. L for, yeah.
What does it stand for again?
Technology readiness level.
Technology readiness level. Gotcha.
I think it's
Shall we also be looking at getting some kind of feedback from the project, even if it's a much later stage, so that we can also look at the impact that we're actually having, instead of just giving the funds and just move on to give funds to the next project without knowing what we achieved. I mean, obviously that would take time because studies generally do take time, depending on the the how long that it will take to run whatever that they're doing. But then just give a little clause to say, we'd like some kind of feedback without making it too intimidating for them, of course. Just even if it's negative, even if there wasn't anything achieved, so that we can also document down what we actually achieving, because it will also be some kind of achievement for us that, okay, so this was this study was funded, and actually this is what we achieved out of it in the long run.
Yeah.
I think it's very important. Very important.
Yeah, exactly. And also think, I mean, once we have let's say 3 or 4 or 5 or even more growing network of this funded project, we can even organize a small conference of something, or maybe have some place in the conference where we invite these all and try to demonstrate, which also help in the promotion as well as what we are doing for public engagement with us.
Yeah.
It might, I mean, my personal opinion is it might make sense for some of the initial projects to come to us with very specific objectives things they can perform over the next 3 to 6 months, so that we will be able to use those for a bit of publicity, and also just to demonstrate to our coin holders that we are that we are making achievements.
Yeah. That will be great. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, that's awesome, Avinash. Thanks for putting that together. I think that's going to be a great framework for us to use for all those projects we donate to, get them into immediate sort of marketing achievements. I was thinking of Meow's comments from when I had a chat with him. He said incentive prize approach as well. So it's like, what sort of things do we want the transhumans community or the global community to achieve, so we get that 10x investment from the people that actually try to win that prize? What's an area that you think that we could?
So if you go up in this document at the first page, I mean, I'm just trying to put together which is feasible in the small timing. So the biology related project, of course, it's a very time consuming. It's a very long term project. Might be not very good idea to jump in now, at least at this stage.
Unless we say today, it's like this $500,000 prize, because that's the total wallet prize fund, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully by the time we get there in 5 years' time, it'll grow like 10x or 100x, hopefully.
Yeah. Exactly. So we can start something which is also feasible for donate by us and feasible for someone to execute. And I think it should be more focused with, I think we talk about AI-based, AI-related, algorithm-focused project at this moment. They're using a lot of data, but at least in the direction of biology, but maybe starting with more algorithms, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. But yeah, it's actually it's a complicated topic to think about. What could be the best way to start with? But I think AI-based approach is safe at this moment. It's like I say, you don't really need lots of setup. You don't really need a lots of hardware as well. You can go straight away and Amazon services or Google Cloud-based services. I mean, like a Google Colab kind of things you can have. And that's a subscription-based service. So they can start immediately once they get funded. But when you talk about wet lab, things are a bit complicated.
Yeah,
expensive.
It's more of the. we can look at it probably at different horizons. So you go like 6 to 12, or 3 to 6 months.
Yeah,
that could be our immediate sort of focus, and then you have your 6 to 18 months, and then you can have your 18 months to say 5 years or something.
Yeah.
3 years. 3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Because then we can look at, okay, well, in 3 years' time, what do we want to achieve as a transhuman coin community, right? I think that's our 2024 vision, Charles, or 2023 vision. So in the 2-year time frame.
Yeah, I think what you just mentioned exactly. I'm gonna also want to share one more thing. We want to write together a sort of like a vision document for next 5 to 10 years. What we want to achieve with THC, but more of technological point of view, in addition to making THC a community-driven currency or token, but more of what kind of future we expecting, like a white paper sort of, that talk about a future prospect, how the future will look like, and with these kind of funded project, and what technology we want to invest and drive toward using that. Something like that. This gives you a better idea for those who are proposing the project, so they know what we are looking for down the road, where we are heading in. There's some example. For example, if you search, I will share you later on the chat, but it's a complicated thing to write. But you can have a look at the help from these scientists, for example, Jordan and Meow and ourselves, of course, but those are working with the technology directly. I think they are best person to talk about the feasibility point of view of this even possible. So something like a 2045 project, by Russian, who propose a very broad goal of doing things. Of course, I don't know what's going on with that project, but that's actually nice
I
vision.
think it's dead.
Is
I
that
haven't heard anything about 2045 initiative in ages.
Yeah, exactly. But I also remember the guy behind. It's a billionaire from Russia, right?
Yeah.
It's like he never uses money for a project.
Yeah, last time I saw him, he was interviewed by Joe Rogan,
Okay.
and I haven't heard or seen him since.
But that vision could be the basis of what we're trying to write here, but with more feasible approach. Because the project 2045 initiative talk about lots of things like extension, human enhancement. Those are already happening in different labs, regardless of initiative.
Yeah.
And then on that artificial intelligence point, you said artificial intelligence for aging research. So I think there we can also like add the life limiting diseases, so that we actually look at a broader sort of
Yeah. Okay.
and include life limiting diseases research. So if, for example, there is an impact on like a topic, like maybe diabetes or hypertension, obviously if it meets the other criteria, because though we know that those diseases can be life limiting and all the others, so we don't just look at aging related, so to speak, more specifically for the diseases as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. And that's where I'm really like Alex Joe, Zed, yeah, from Insilico Medicine, who's in Hong Kong, and they are doing like a incredibly great job applying artificial intelligence with longevity research, collaborating with lots of labs all around the world, including some of the big name Cipla, pharmaceutical companies. I mean, they are not just developing method to find new cure, but they are more developing an approach that whatever going on existing pathology labs, they use the same information to develop models, and that's where they're collaborating and taking the consent from the user to use the data and do things. So if you can have Alex on the board, that will be really incredibly great for this project as well.
Yeah, we definitely need Alex on the board, and that way he doesn't need to receive donations. Like he doesn't have to accept it.
Oh, he don't need to. Yeah, I think he can be an advisor on that way, just a project point of view, and he really focus on doing things rather than talking. He call it MMA style. So my name is there to reach out to Alex.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try again.
Yeah, that'd be great because I didn't get much luck.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, it is a busy guy.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll add it into this list of the targets.
Thanks.
Awesome. So maybe what I'll do, I'll copy this section and put it into the document, in the same document, so that we can all see it. I'll just put it down. Yeah, I'll put it at the very top. The research framework, and that way we'll have that accessible. Like that. Yeah. And this way we also have, maybe we can have a go at the vision as well. So if we wanted to do an incentive prize, right, we can say these are the things we want to incentivize. These are the challenges that we have right now that we need people to solve, that there's a gap in the market. So usually the incentive prizes exist because commercially they don't make any sense, and governments aren't doing enough to meet that sort of gap.
Yeah.
So what's an example from these key areas you think, specifics, like that we could potentially drive? And it could be across any of those time horizons. It could have 3 to 6 months, 6 to 18, 18 to 36, and then even 3 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 20. We could have an incentive prize for each of these time frames. So 3 to 6 months, we could come up with an example. Let's say we can look at, like Jabu was saying, life-limiting diseases. Algorithms. So algorithms to life-limiting disease research. Like that.
Yeah.
And then 6 to 18 months might be an example where they actually What do you guys think? Something like that? We could have some incentive, almost like if we were to put up a big prize of 500,000 US. That's a massive announcement we can make right today and get people excited about not just Transhuman Coin, but solving for these challenges.
Yeah, yeah.
And we could actually see teams come together and submit their forms based on your research, your criteria.
Yeah. I love that. That sounds really great. We can contact some of the incubators and accelerators.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a very, very good idea. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't want to bet the bank on it, but it's there, right? It's not like we're lying about it. It's like, for total value.
for sure. And I mean, Peter, would we want to work with groups like Cicada that have their medtech accelerator as well?
Meow's not a fan of Cicada anymore.
No, I know Meow's not.
Yeah, but yeah, I think because they have connections with all the universities, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking that. I mean, I've had discussions with Meow about it.
It might even be a conversation we have with the X Prize guys as well.
Yeah. That'd be very cool. Yeah.
Put that on the list because we can go through the Singularity people there.
Yeah.
We can use this evaluation framework for the people that choose to enter. And it's almost as if we can give them some initial funding this way as well. So if we have this initial big prize, and then the people that choose to participate could be funded using this sort of evaluation criteria to get the seed funding, which will give them the sort of the 10 million Transhuman Coin to get them started. So that'll be like 10 grand seed funding.
Yeah. Apart from the no, actually what you're doing is already good enough. I'm just thinking, how does it work in university level? Like, how do we know about this funding when it comes into the scene? So usually university have something called research office. But I think that's not a very good idea to reach out to every single university or the research office, and then it's a bit difficult. No, it's fine.
Yeah, and then we can get them to report on, and we can actually just get that straight into the reporting timeline that we talked about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. We can have that conference. We can do the documentation on the impact report based on the seed fund, and then we'll just get people to just try to win the prize, and we can continue to increase this value depending on how well Transhuman Coin does, and then the tokenomics and increasing that balance as well. Yeah. Let's do it.
I like it.
That's great. Yeah.
Cool. All right. I think that's Art. You're up. I think there's a couple of things we skipped there.
Just my suggestion for the logo or the mascot. It's not a Shiba Inu, but I think a lot of marketing companies and whatnot, they always have this cutesy logo mascot. And this was just my suggestion because I kept seeing this in my head every time I saw the Transhuman Coin logo. It looked like sort of a cyborg jellyfish, and the fact that there's an immortal jellyfish out there, it makes perfect sense. That this jellyfish would be our mascot, So, and then my second version there, I kind of did an infinity around the eyes. You kind of have to zoom in to see it, but this is something I'd like to develop, and along with the army that Charles has for the graphics. So they could develop it further into animation cartoons and whatnot. I have an account on the crypto.com NFT marketplace, and they're rather exclusive there. Not just anyone can sign up and start creating NFTs.
You're a credited artist. Nice.
Yeah, they want to see your portfolio and see if you're an actual artist, And I had to point on my website and say, "Hey, I'm an artist."
Yeah.
They only allow you to create up to 50 NFTs per week, so they actually limit the amount. Unlike some of the other ones where people just spam a whole thousands and millions of NFTs. So I could develop this further and spam it myself on the crypto.com marketplace and sell it for cheap, just to get it out there.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So yeah, just whatever feedback you want to give me, yay, nay.
I want the second one. Yeah.
This,
I like the second one.
So
like the infinity.
Yeah,
you could even add some tentacles to it with your with the jellyfish analogy, but I think this looks fine because it's got the the transhuman coin brain.
It's got cyborg, digital tentacles.
Yeah, exactly. We could even have the Matrix thing going behind it, like because how the Matrix are coming out with their NFTs.
Yeah.
That's
so yeah, like I said, I want to develop it further, and I think Charles' graphics army team can develop it further, and we're just we can take it each in our own directions and use it however we can for marketing purposes. So
what's a turi here?
The turi, that's the name of the species of the jellyfish. The turi tropic something other. Let me get the name. Immortal jellyfish.
Yeah, there's an immortal jellyfish. Also, that's called turi. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's the Turritopsis dorni, first discovered in the 1880s in the Mediterranean Sea. So,
well, my personal favorite is octopus, but okay.
Oh yeah, they're the intelligent version. Yeah, maybe we could call it the. Yeah. Only one animal was known to have this.
I mean, if you have jellyfish and octopus combined, I don't know what you can do. What we have today.
We don't have to stick with one mascot. We can have multiple mascots. Look how many McDonald's has. So we can have an army of mascots all along the immortal, the lines of immortality or whatever. Octopus are very intelligent creatures. They've just been recognized as sentient by the UK.
Yeah. Well, there's a very nice movie. I've not seen a movie. It's more of documentary on Netflix called Octopus, My Teacher.
Oh yes, I've heard of it.
It's
excellent. Yeah, it's excellent.
It's excellent.
All right. Okay. It's PG, right?
It's PG.
Yeah,
okay, good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, dude. All right, YouTube ads. That's great. I think that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I mentioned YouTube, and then someone else said that we were already working on the Google ads.
Yeah.
So is that separate from YouTube, or can you sort of combine the same YouTube and Google?
We combine the same. So what happened is we had started before, and Google blocked. They suspended our accounts. Because they thought we were promoting a scam. Yeah.
They suspended.
And they suspended the accounts. So we wrote to them and presented the Delaware LLC documents and all of that. And 2 days ago, I believe so, they reactivated the account.
Right.
Yeah. And so now we are able to advertise and do all of that.
Okay, so you could target specific programs like Show that Gennady streams on YouTube.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, because a lot of people see those shows after the fact. We've got years going back of shows, and anyone on YouTube searching for anything transhumanist, they're going to come across that show, and then we can have a transhuman ads within it. The little banner they show in the video, not the one that cuts in the middle of the video with their own marketing video, but just a little banner I think would be enough, to get people's attention, but not cut into the video like the other annoying ones.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm not sure when if Gennady's put in that time with Liz. I'm not sure what her availability is, but yeah, it'd be awesome to have that Liz and Charles USTP virtual nightmare salon.
Liz and
so you want to have an own episode?
Yeah,
Charles.
That's the
You want
plan.
to be a guest on the USTP show? Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're always looking for guests on the entertainment salon. So I think we go back. I mean, I think we're going out maybe 2 more guests we have lined up, and after that it opens up.
Awesome. Yeah, it'd be great to get that going. Just maybe
just send Gennady an email saying you want to be a guest and you want to try and get Liz on there at the same time, and I'm sure.
Oh yeah, he's already agreed.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Then yes. You eventually tell me to create the graphics for
it. Yeah, let's see how you goes. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. Sending this to the group.
Yeah, that's 2 other matters actually added by me. I'm just curious. I mean, again, I'm still bad in Bitcoin and stuff like that. So I'm using Trust Wallet, for instance, and THC icon should be appeared there. It's supposed to be happen or automatically, or I need to do that. I'm just curious.
I think you have to import the contract address because it's a custom token address.
Oh yeah, but because since the Coinsbit, I mean the THC listed on Coinsbit, now it's automatically available on Trust Wallet with all the information and trend and etc. But still, there's no icon appear like other tokens.
Oh, the logo. Gotcha.
Yeah, the logo.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, should be happen automatically, or you guys need to do something? Or
probably have to get with Trust Wallet themselves.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I did share that with the dev team. We attempted to add the icon, and we successfully added it. But then Trust Wallet got back to us and they said we do not qualify yet. We need about 25,000 holders.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So I think Peter had mentioned we could use some ways to increase holders. You remember, Peter?
I totally forgot to put it on the agenda.
And right now we're about 11,000, right? We're 11,000 holders right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
we're almost getting into 12,000.
So Proof of Humanity, you guys might have remember that Universal Basic Income initiative. So what it does is you're able to confirm your unique ID wallet address is associated with your humanity. So all these people you see on the website, they're waiting to be registered to say, this is me, I'm a real human, this is my wallet address. So there's about, I think, there's about 10,000 profiles on this. So if we ever needed to do an airdrop, so of like, say, a very tiny amount, maybe 1,000 transhuman coin per person, that would just be a $10 million transhuman coin drop, so donation. And so Andrew Corcoran is actually organizing, he's actually in discussions with the developers. And Andrew is in our dev team. Developers at POH. And if we can actually organize that, because the Proof of Humanity people are already receiving a universal basic income, the UBI token, which is, once they've registered on Proof of Humanity, they get 1 UBI token per hour. And I think when I joined back in early August, I've now got about $1,000 worth of like UBI tokens just accumulating, because it's worth like 20 cents per UBI token.
Yeah.
And yeah, and Vitalik's fully supportive. So Vitalik's bought a lot of UBI token and burnt it. So he's supporting the price. So all those sort of crypto, millionaires and billionaires, they sort of see this as a need to have universal basic income. So they always have that sort of view to make sure no one's left behind. And this is a way to facilitate that. So I think if we did an airdrop collaboration between THC and Proof of Humanity, would not only get us the holders to get that logo, but also bring like super credibility in terms of how we're supporting the super well-being side of transhumanism, to support people to get a UBI, because it promotes transhumanists to sign up for Proof of Humanity account, and vice versa for Proof of Humanity people to come across understanding what transhumanism is all about. And it's not a zero-sum game, because these Proof of Humanity people, they're getting one UBI for free every single hour, right? So they love free money, and if you're going to get an airdrop, of course they'll say yes, but also it's not costing them, it's not like they're choosing between UBI or THC. Yeah. And it might be something that we could also set up a swap between. So UBI currently has the way that they fund it is through a DAI pool, so DAI pool. It's like 21 cents at the moment.
So you have to connect your wallet to create an account?
Yeah, you connect to your wallet, and then I think they need a 0.15 Ethereum deposit. It's the gas fees that make this a little bit not viable in emerging markets.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to be able to afford gas fees, you don't need a UBI. And if you have 0.15 ETH, like, it's unlikely you need a UBI.
It's still like $80, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even have that much.
But yeah, the way they actually make it work in terms of the being able to give UBI and support the price of UBI token is to create these pools. So ETH UBI pools, DAI UBI pools, UBI issuance. So maybe one day we'd do a UBI THC pool as part of a collaboration, because people that get UBI, they might want to become a transhumanist and switch over to transhumanism. Yeah. Just something to consider. But yeah, that's what Andrew's discussions with the developers at the moment.
That sounds cool.
But yeah, that 25,000 holders, that's about 1,000 THC to each POH registrant, 10,000 plus unique profiles. So these are real unique humans that were validated through this. So the way it works, you upload your picture with this is your wallet address. Someone that knows you in person vouches for you. That's already registered. So that person's already registered. They vouch for you. And then once you complete the registration, which is just waiting 2 days, make sure no one challenges it. Like, it's like, clearly that's a deep fake, like that's a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so people have to stake their ETH just to challenge it, right? So there's an incentive to not have people that are fake there. But yeah, once that complete, you become registered, and you start receiving UBI automatically on the Ethereum network. Let's see, this is my one. I mean, you can find me actually, Peter Zing.
Doesn't exist.
I don't exist. Maybe it's under one word. I don't think the search is very good. Right, there I am. Yeah.
There you go.
You're saying that's my wallet address. That's this is me. Saying this is my photo. Literally the same background. And yeah, I've got like 2,000 UBI. 20 cents each.
Wow.
And I was vouched by Andrew Corcoran.
Cool.
And you can request for my removal. Please don't. It costs you ETH. And I'm gonna have to re-register. Yeah. Yeah.
Remove. Get him.
Remove him. He's a robot. It's clearly a robot, not human. It's transhuman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. If you guys haven't signed up, it's like free money, so you get your deposit back after you register. But it's just the gas fees. You'll get your gas fees back with the.
How much is gas fees, RP?
Right now, it's about 50 USD. But if you do it during weekdays, it might be 200 USD. It's like.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and the deposit is 0.15 ETH.
0.15.
Yeah, 0.15. All right, cool. I think that's everything, guys. That's awesome. That was a really productive meeting. Yeah, it's really good to catch up.
Fast.
Yeah, unlike last time. Like
cool.
3 hours.
I mean, it's really quite a ride in last 3 months. You guys was really, Peter and Charles. You guys are doing amazing work.
Yeah, great work out in the team. Zane as well, like getting those resourcing that. What do you reckon, Charles? Any other next steps? Anything the team?
Yeah.
Lots of announcements.
Oh.
Yeah. So we've reached out to just a minute. Let me get back to my computer. I was charging the phone. So we've reached out to a couple of DeFi lending platforms, and to partner and integrate the lending feature, for THC, literally to make THC a collateral, for those loans. We've heard from smartcontracts.io. They're willing to list us, to partner with us. But they told us we have to wait for the next version of their system. Currently, it only just assists people with the ERC20 protocol. They're trying to bridge to BSC, and then they'll be able to help us, and that could happen in about 2 weeks or 3 weeks time. And we've also contacted Unilend, and they sent a form that we can fill. And with the listing, we've heard from Gates.io. I think there was a screenshot of their response also.
Awesome.
They apologize for the delay, and their listing manager contacted me via Telegram, and they shared their proposal, the cost and all that. I'm going to forward it to the group after this call, and with funding for the listing, because they're very expensive. They're about 100K USD. What we're trying to do is to get a partnership with the DeFi lending platforms, right? And borrow USDT against Transhuman Coin. So that way we are not selling THC to list. And we can have a way to repay the loan, over a long period of time. So hopefully, we should finalize the DeFi lending partnership in the coming week, and then to help us to raise the funds to list on the top tier exchanges. But we've heard from Get.io, and they are quite positive with the project. We've also heard from OKS. I mentioned to Peter. No, I think I shared that in the group. We were almost defrauded. We were almost scammed by the first OKX
All right.
listing guys. Yeah,
That's insane.
And so the thing is, you just have to. So this is what I do. I get these emails. They look just almost the same with the original exchange email address, right? But when you click on the header details of the email, or if it's on Gmail, you click on the security details, you'll be able to find the originating IP details, right? Then you'll be able to know if that email came from the same source as the original. So what I usually do is I just send an email to I copy the support email address from the original from the website of the exchange, then send them a quick email like, "Hi, how are you?" So I can get an automatic response, from the exchange, from their direct email. So once I get the automatic response, I'll be able to check their security details. I mean, to confirm if the IP address of the sender, I mean the email server IP details is the same as that of the guys who claim to be their listing agents. So that way we avoid being scammed. A lot of projects, a lot of projects crashed because their dev team, got scammed. I mean, imagine selling your coins, to raise $100,000 or, and then you discover you are just scammed. Yeah, it's gonna affect the whole project.
It's ridiculous. I'm glad we have a cybersecurity expert as the founder of Transhuman Coin.
I mean, that's really a best match, blockchain and cybersecurity expert as a founder.
We actually do have a cybersecurity response team. I'm going to share the group. What's it called? The group. So we're a team of 5 people. So we drafted them from the GamesBlock cybersecurity team. And,
oh wow!
It dropped them, and they're part of they just work on the security of the project. To make sure that our smart contract is not at any point vulnerable to any form of hacking and all of that. And
Oh yeah, it was great to see the audit got completed as well on the contract. That was really awesome. So even though we didn't need it, I think it makes it really official that to have that brand, that it's been Certic. It's like Certic, right? It's like that type of audit.
Tech rate.
So tech rate. It's like also it's pretty much in line with Certic.
What about that one issue they found? How serious was that? That one minor issue.
Something about the gas, right?
Yeah, something about the gas DDoS denial of service. Is that serious? Is that something we need to fix or?
Yeah, we can fix that, but it's quite minor. You see, when people try to buy, and we've seen a lot of that on the group. When there is a lot of traffic and a lot of people are buying, and you buy with a low slippage tolerance, what happens is you get an error that says out of gas or something, right? Then you have to increase slippage, to like 9% or 10%. Then it goes through, and I do believe. I mean, it's a minor thing. If we would have to mint or create another smart contract to get 100% perfect smart contract, it will look like a rock pool, right? You see, once you announce that you are migrating to a new smart contract, people will start thinking that you're about to crash the project. So that was just the only error, which is not a security error, which is quite impressive. It's not a security error, it's a gas error.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's it for now, but if I remember anything else, I'll share in the group.
That's awesome. Thanks a lot, Charles. Thanks for the update. But hope it's great to see everyone Jabu, sorry, I think you were saying something.
Yes, yes. Just one point, on that criteria for, the pilot to approve pilot research, especially in the medical and the biology field. I think we just need to add the ethical issue as well on the research, because the big thing on the medical, with medical research, you need to either, obviously it will be quite, difficult for us to have our own sort of ethical standards. I think the best thing to do, because obviously research will be coming from all over the world, to just make sure that they pass the local or their government ethical standard, or they've got some proof that they've got some ethical sort of approval for the project, because then we know that projects, they've looked at the ethical issues around, especially with the human and animal research.
Yeah, that's actually an incredible important point. Yeah, we got to ask this question again and again about ethical approval and stuff like that.
Do we want to make it a global ethical standard? And then
we can talk about Helsinki ethical. That's what you call it, Helsinki, right? Well, yeah. Let me search what's the right term.
Helsinki. Yeah,
I think Helsinki ethical principles.
I just added that at the top there.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, cool. Thanks for that.
But interestingly, when we talk about transhumanism, there's a lots of topic we're talking about, which is usually beyond the ethical concern, right? Because we just want to break the boundary to go ahead.
Yeah, there's an orbital. Yeah. What do they call it?
Elizabeth Parrish, I think she's doing an experiment in somewhere in South Africa, because she can't do in US because of ethical concern.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
What do they call
it?
Yeah,
I mean, as long as there's a get around for those who are applying, that's good. They should have some way to work around with that.
Yeah, I think it's called the Overton window or something.
Overton window, okay.
Yeah. And like when society's not quite there yet around the ethical side.
Okay.
I saw it on the TV show Billions, when the guy was like doing like, was it? He's like into S&M or something. And the society wasn't quite ready to appreciate that from a politician.
I have a loose idea of medical tourism in Costa Rica. I have a friend who's retiring out there and is going to co-manage a hotel. And he's going to remodel the hotel. And I told him, when you start doing that, think in terms of medical tourism and having people fly in and have somewhere to stay, and have a facility or a small room where they can be treated by some sort of medical person. So it's just some loose ideas that I have kind of running around in my head, and I've actually run across people where I could probably make it happen. In Costa Rica. So have a place to go in Costa Rica for medical tourism.
Yeah, I think we can play around the edges of the Overton window. It's like, you're saving a life, you put your own life, so you have morphological freedom, so the right to do whatever you want with that, as long as it doesn't harm someone else. So it's like those sort of edge cases where society might think it's sort of taboo, but from an ethics perspective, it's sort of like it's still, meets those standards for your morphological freedom.
I mean, Liz is a perfect example in that direction, right? Yeah, sorry, Dr. Charles, go ahead.
Yeah. Just a quick update on Forbes and Bloomberg. Forbes has now allowed us to, they've activated the article writing feature on the account. So, and they've requested that we send in articles. But we have to be a bit tactical or strategic, with the article, and not promote the coin directly, but promote in a very strategic way. You know, so we can write something on transhumanism or the metaverse or biotech, but using the transhuman coin as a case study.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea.
So,
yeah, that's a good strategy.
yeah.
Not an
Okay.
ad.
Dr. Chan, do you need to pay for membership? It's a paid membership.
It's paid. Yeah, so we paid for 2 years, which is $4,850.
That's US dollars. I'm talking, of course.
US dollars. Yeah.
It's actually cheaper than actually trying to get a paid piece.
Yeah,
it's cheaper.
Yeah,
Multiple articles now you can write. I mean, you have pretty
Yeah.
much be up to 2 years to do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I believe there might be still an approval process once you publish article. I guess so.
Yeah. So there's a vetting process. I didn't know that they were going to do all of that. Where they question, your portfolio, gets to speak to the bank, or they get to see your bank documents and all of that stuff. So I didn't feel good about it because I was like, okay, well, this is, I didn't think this is necessary, because so, but at least they're not very intrusive. They don't try to intrude into your private transactions and all of that. Just to have an idea of the value, especially your financial value.
Okay.
Yeah, and with the Bloomberg article, we've received an email address from Dr. Avinaj of a journalist that we can reach out. We've written an email, but we haven't had a response
You already
yet.
written the email. Okay, cool. I can also get back to her to see if she received something. But it's a holiday time, I'm assuming, in US, Thanksgiving, and now it's a weekend, so maybe something on Monday.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I assume, but I can reach out.
Yeah. Cool. I was also thinking we could just get the guys in the media army to start, re-editing what we already have on you, Dr. Avinaj.
Okay.
The idea is to, because you see, when we start funding these projects or announce our pilot projects, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the organizations we'll be partnering with would want to Google, they would want to search, our SAB members, and the leaders and all of that. So the idea is to profile the SAB members in reputable media platforms, with two major platforms being Forbes and Bloomberg.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing some random profiling. It could be, we can have Dr. Avinaj being profiled this week, talk about his projects and all of that, and Zen being profiled the next week, and the projects he manages and all of that, and add, you can just have some monthly profiles on reputable platforms. So if you search for Transhuman Coin Scientific Advisory Board members, you'll find some articles on their work.
Yeah. That's great. That's great.
That's awesome.
That's a really good strategy. Yeah.
All right. So let's just have a think about those incentive or the framework things. If there's any sort of more comments, just feel free to add it to the document. Maybe we just need a couple of things on the horizon 2 and 3, what we want to do 6 to 18 months, what we want to incentivize, 6 to 18 months, 18 to 36 months. I've already got some sort of medium long-term visions around 3 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years. That's just a transhumanist sort of vision around, longevity, escape velocity, artificial general intelligence, AGI, minor work.
Yeah.
So that stuff is easy at the end. It's just what's that? The early ones. That's the harder ones, 6 to 18 months, 18 to 36. We want to incentivize. And Charles, if you think this putting the entire Transhuman Fund Wallet, the total balance as the incentive prize for this long-term vision.
Yeah.
That could be a way to get another marketing push. And that could be something that goes into the Forbes article. So if we say, this is our incentive prize for people that want to work on these initiatives, submit your evaluation framework for seed funding. And we can continue to do these check-ins, 3 to 6 month check-ins to aim towards those, 3 horizon or sort of medium long-term goals. Yeah.
Great.
Cool.
Let's have a think and in some of those incentive prizes. I'll try to reach out to the X Prize guys and try to get that going. We'll just talk in the chat around those approvals for the donations for those initial ones.
Sounds good.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah,
Great to see you.
Yeah.
Have a great day and enjoy the rest of the day. You have a good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
Good night.
You guys.
Bye.
Good afternoon, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Cool.
Bye.